Hey guys, welcome to Shire Skull Studios. I'm Raven Wolf, and today we're going over a deck list that I made a little while ago. I've been working on it, trying to find a balance because I'm trying to do too many mechanics at once, but that shouldn't matter. It's supposed to be like this one's gonna be more of a casual deck. It has some combos you can do and a lot of synergies, but let's go ahead and get into it. Also, guys, if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe for more stuff in the future, or just comment down below, get the interaction going for the algorithm. So today's commander is Shalai and Halar, flying Vigilance. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, Shalai and Halar deal that much damage to target opponent. Pretty simple. We're going to put counters on all of our creatures, get that burn going. Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, +1, distribute 3 counters among 1, 2, and 3 creatures you control. Look at the top 4 cards of the library. Reveal an aura, creature, or planeswalker. Put them in your hands. Rest on the bottom. -8, you gain 100 life. Elspeth Resplendent. Choose up to 1 target creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on it, and a counter from Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, or Vigilance on it. So we're going to put counters on our creatures and give them keyword counters. Minus regular top 3 cards, put a permanent card mana value 3 or less from among them on the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Rest on the bottom in random order. And the -7 is we create 5 33 angels, which we don't care about because we just care about the first part. Elspeth, Knight Errant. The +1 is to get a 1/1 soldier token. +1 is the +3/+3 in flying. And the -8, which is the one we want her for, artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control have indestructible. Going down into creatures, we have Akroma, Angel of Fury, which is can't be countered, flying, trample, protection from white and from blue. Akroma, Angel of Fury gets +1/+1 until end of turn, so she can, or +1/+0, and the morph ability. Archangel Avacyn, we can flash her in, give all the stuff indestructible. Whenever a non-angel creature we control dies, flip her, and then she's going to burn stuff, each creature and each opponent. Archangel of Thune. Whenever you gain life, put 1 counter on each creature you control. And basically, if we were to give our commander lifelink, that will go infinite. Where'd she go? Yeah. So giving our commander lifelink goes infinite with Archangel of Thune. Archangel of Ties. When she's untapped, creatures can't attack you or planes you control unless they pay 1. As long as she is attacking, creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1. Feature those creatures. So this is to slow our opponents down for either blocking or for attacking us, and for blocking, it's hopefully to get some stuff through. Aurelia, the War Leader, is just to give us some extra combats. Avacyn, Angel of Hope, to give all this stuff indestructible. Bassandra, Battle Seraph. So essentially, we can goad our opponent's things, make it where they have to attack, and players can't cast spells during combat, so no combat tricks besides abilities. Bloodline Pretender is to get counters on each of our angels when they enter the battlefield. Bloom Tender is for mana. Bruna, Fading Light, is a graveyard recursion for an angel. Clay Champion is to put 1 counters on creatures. Delighted Halfling is a mana dork. Delna, Wild Mage, is to make other versions of our angels. Devoted Druid is for mana ramp. Giada, Font of Hope, is going to burn anytime angel enters battlefield. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, is to double our damage and half our opponents. Broken Blade is going to be aggro, and she will fuse or meld with Bruna to make this monstrosity that will slow down our opponents, hopefully, and has all keywords. Guide of Souls. Basically, it's going to gain us life, and we can basically we can pay 3 energy whenever we attack, put 2 1/1 counters and a flying counter on target creature. It becomes an angel. Halana and Elena is to put counters on creatures equal to their power, so we're going to burn that with our commander. Herald of War When it attacks, we get counters, and we get to burn our opponents, cheapen our angel and human cards. Lulu, Loyal Holophant. Basically, if like one of our creatures gets killed by blocking or removal, we can untap all our tapped creatures and put counters on them. Lyra Dawnbringer. This will give our commander lifelink, and with Archangel of Thune, we'll go infinite. Paragon of Maternity, we can put 1 counters on it, burn our opponents, and we just get a buffer angel. Platinum Angel is to stop us from losing the game, stop our opponents from winning the game. Angel Rebirth is a graveyard recursion for our angels, our multicolored ones. Sakura Tribe Elder is going to be for ramp. Shalai Voice of Plenty is to protect our other creatures and our planeswalkers and us. Sagara Fauna Blessings will give our other things hexproof. So with these two, they will give all our permanents hexproof. Sagara Huron's Grace give our humans and us hexproof, and it's graveyard hate. Sigarda, Host of Herons. Basically, our opponents can't make us sacrifice permanents. Sylvan Carotid is a mana dork. The Bull is an angel, but it'll also get counters on it anytime our opponent casts a spell. Youthful Valkyrie. Whenever another angel enters, put 1 counter on it, so even more burn. Going into our sorceries, we have Blasphemous Act. Hopefully our angels are just too big, and we can just wipe out our opponent's smaller board. Cultivate for ramp. Kindred Charge. Get more angels on the battlefield. Go aggro. Balaama's Reach. Obliterate is for a board wipe. And Triumph of the Hordes is going to be a win con with all our angels. Arcbound is also a pseudo board wipe. Dawn's Truce. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end turn. If you give us promise, permanents you control gain indestructible until end turn. It's a good protection spell. Heroic Intervention is the same thing. Crows and Grip for removal. And Path Exile for removal. For our artifacts, we have Chroma's Memorial, so that Blasphemous Act and Arcbound won't damage our stuff. Angel's Feather to gain life. Angel Heart Vial is to gain us some life, and we can use it to draw cards to gain life. Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere. Ozolith, but 1 counter on creatures we control. Soul Ring, Great Hinge for counters and life. Ozolith for counters, and Urza's Incubator to cheapen our angels. For our enchantments, we have All Will Be One to burn our opponents. Anytime counters we put on a permanent or player from us. Asceticism, protect our creatures. Branding Evolution to double our counters. Cathar's Crusade is more counters anytime a creature enters the battlefield. Citadel Siege is going to be more counters. Molten Echoes to make more angels. Noble Heritage is to buff our commander and hopefully give us protection if our opponents take those counters. Rite of Passage, whenever our creatures are dealt damage, we'll put 1 counter on them, buff them. Swift Configuration, slow down our opponent. For lands, Captive Symbol, Bountiful Promenade. Cabaret Courtyard for a fetch. Clifftop Retreat. Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Exotic Orchard. 6 Forest, a Jetmir's Garden. Mountain, Overgrown Farmlands. Plains, Sacred Foundry. Sheltering Landscape for a fetch. Sundown Pass. Sunpale Grove. Temple Garden. And Terramorphic Expanse for another fetch. And of course, guys, we're going to go ahead and play test it. We're going to keep that hand. Let's go ahead and draw for turn. So, these are lands. We're going to do Sundown Pass and play tapped. Next turn, we'll play a forest. And we're already pretty slow because we are playing angels, so that's fine. But we're not drawing anything else. There we go. There's an angel. So we'll do white and a green for Youthful Valkyrie. Next turn, should we cast our commander? Sure. We'll go ahead leave this one open. We'll cast our commander, add a counter, burn our opponents for 1. Next turn, we'll do a forest. We'll leave this one open with these 4, Halana and Helena. And with this one, we're going to put 2 moment counters on our commander, burning for 2. Next turn, alright, we're going to play our lands. And we'll go to combat, putting 2 moment counters on our commander, burning for 2. And let's see, she's 7, so we're just going to tap 2 green, forest, Great Hinge, tap, getting that and 2 life. And we'll do 1, 2, 3. Archangel of Thune puts on 1 counter, deals damage. Next turn, then we basically, if they've killed off one of our angels, we can do Bruna. We could also just hold up and flash in Archangel Avacyn. We could do Platinum Angel, stuff like that. Let's go do a game 2. Sure, I'll keep this hand, because why not? We'll draw for turn 1. Sun Petal Grove. Next turn, Mountain, Bloom Tender. Next turn, Plains, Cast Commander. Next turn, now this is a good step here. Tap Bloom Tender for 3 mana. We'll use a white and a red for Giada. So we have green left over. And with that green, we'll do this. Citadel Siege. Choosing cons. And we'll go to combat. We put 2 on 1 counters on our commander. Dealing damage. Turn 5. Tapping for 3 mana. We're going to do... Oh, she's 6 mana. So you have to cast her. So we'll do Aurelia. With Aurelia, she'll come in with 2 counters, dealing 2 damage. We'll go to combat. 2 more counters. And we'll say we tapped Giada for that. Now we hold, like say, and we'll put a Swift Variation on one of our opponent's pieces. Going to combat, swing with our commander, and Aurelia untaps. Combat again. Oh yeah, second combat, we put 2 counters on. We'll put 2 counters on our commander. Make commander big. Next turn. Sure for the druid, but we also need ways to draw cards, which we don't have. We don't has. So we'll tap for the 3 mana. And I guess what we'll do is that. Swift Variation on something, because why not at this point? Then we'll do Devoted Druid. So now we're just going to mana ramp, and hopefully we can do some stuff. We'll go to combat. We're going to put 2 counters on Devoted Druid, actually. Dealing damage to our opponent. We'll go to combat. Swing. Swing. Go to another combat. Put all these counters on Devoted Druid. Next turn. Oh, there's a freaking land. But land doesn't help us now, because we don't need it. We need card draw. But yeah, it's turn 7. If our opponents haven't board wiped or done stuff, that's a pretty easy board, because we're just going to, hey, manas. Then we'll cast all these. Let's go ahead and restart for game 3. This one's not so bad. We'll draw. We're going to do an Evolving Wilds. Go to our library for a forest. Put in play tapped. Next turn. We're going to play an Exotic Orchard. And we're going to do Giada. Next turn. Sundown Pass. Cast Commander. Enters with a 1/1 counter. Dealing 1 damage to something. Next turn, we're going to play Forest, tapping all. We're going to do Modernity. It comes to play with 2 counters. Dealing damage to something, or dealing 2 damage to something. Next turn, Plains to do Commander Sphere. 1, 2, 3. And I guess at that point we'll do 1, 2 for Sylvan Dryad. Go to combat, and we've been swinging. Next turn, for turn 6, play a mountain. We could easily at this point bump up Modernity and then start doing stuff, but I think what we're gonna do now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We'll do Platinum Angel. It'll come into play 3 counters, dealing 3 damage to something. We still have 2 mana, which does not matter at this point. Let's go ahead and restart. We'll do one more game. That's a bad hand. That's an okay hand. We'll draw. Alright, we'll do Temple Gardens, because it doesn't matter. Next turn, play Forest. So this is how it's going to be, that we just don't have all the mana. Next turn. Do the Mountain. Next turn after that, we'll do a Plains. And with that, we'll cast our commander. Next turn, we'll do an Evolving the Wilds, and we'll go get a mountain. No, I hit my mic! Mountain. Let's play tapped. We're going to do Citadel Siege, putting 2 more counters on our commander at the beginning of combat, dealing 2 damage. Next turn. What do I want to do? Could do that. So we'll say we only have 5 mana. So we'll do Sigarda, go to combat, 2 more counters, burning for 2. Next turn. This is slow, but it's not a bad slow. That, Sylvan Carroted, the 3 mana, we'll do Rite of Passage, go to combat, 2 counters on our commander. And now if we can chump block with our opponent's creatures, our commanders will get counters. We'll go to turn 8. Might just do one more after. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. We'll do one more. Let's get a good hand, though. That's a good one. Draw for turn 1. Sacred Foundry. Taking the 2 damage. Gather Souls. Next turn. Soccer Tribuilder. Before our turn, or we could declare blocks. We'll sack him. And I'm going to go grab another Forest. View Library. Forest. Wait, what the frick? View Library. Give me that Forest. I want my Forest. Close. So our next turn, we'll cast our commander. Boom. We get an energy counter and 1 life. Not bad. On this turn, we'll do a mountain. We'll do Giada with these. Sacred Foundry, and we gain a life and an energy counter for Noble Heritage. Go to combat. will attack because of whoever. Next turn, turn 5, Cabaret Courtyard is going to go get us another forest. Comes into play tapped. 5 mana, we're going to cast Lyra. Oh yeah, on our upkeep, we'll put 2 counters on commander, burning something for 2. Do Lyra Dawnbringer. She comes in with 2 1/1 counters, burning something else for 2. Then we gain 2 life. We gain a life and an energy. We will go to combat and attack with our commander, using our 3 energy to put 2 1 counters on our commander, dealing 2 more damage, gaining 2 more life, and then we gain the 2 life from it entering the battlefield. Let me see here. Player. Lose energy. Then we'll go to next turn. I guess we'll play a plains. I guess with this 4 mana, we'll leave it like this. Angel, gaining a life and an energy, getting 3 counters. I also forgot to do Noble Heritage again. Add a counter, dealing 2 more damage, gaining 2 more life. And then we can just go to combat. Yeah, let's do one more, because I keep saying one more, but this deck's really fun. And I like to test it out. Getting a decent hand, though, is the problem. I don't have a good enough mana fixing in the deck. Yeah, we're not. I guess we'll do that, because at least it's 3 lands. So we'll draw for turn 1. We're going to do an Exotic Orchard to go grab a mountain. Turn 2. Forest. And we actually cast this one on curve for mana. Next turn, Plains. Urza's Incubator, choosing Angels. Next turn, Plains. Each one of these casts our commander. And we have Avacyn, Angel of Hope at flash speed. No, it's 2 more to cast, right? 2 less. So we don't have her on flash speed. But it doesn't matter. Next turn, we didn't get anything with counters, sadly. So, but what we could do is, if somebody's like going off and they have, if they blast act or they're gonna swing a big thing at us, we could 3 mana, Arcbound with, say we block with Sylvan Carotid, like they swing a big thing at us, choose to block. Then after we use Arcbound onto our thing, we'll flash in Archangel Avacyn, make all our stuff indestructible. Yeah, all our creatures gain indestructible. And so yeah, Arcbound will blow up all our opponent's creatures, and we take all the damage. One more. What the frick is this one? We're keeping it. Drawn. Cool. Sun Petal. Next turn, Exotic Orchard. Next turn, Mountain. Next turn, Plains Commander. Next turn, Plains. Cast. Do we want to do that? Tap, Delighted Halfling. And then we'll do Elspeth. Add loyalty counter. 1/1 soldier. There we go. Next turn, we'll do a Cathar's Crusade. Add loyalty. Soldier token, which is add a counter, add a counter, add a counter, Add a counter, 4 damage. Next turn. What do we want to do here? Immediately, we're going to add a counter. Soldier. Add a counter. 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 Dealing 5 damage to something. And then we'll do... tapping her for mana. Aurelia, which is counter, 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 and counter, burning another opponent. And we'll go to combat, and we'll swing. Untap all our creatures. Swinging again. Except for Delight Halfling. It'll be untapped. Next turn. This is a turn 8 right here. So I guess what I want to do is... I don't know what it is. It legendary creature, right? Legendary spell. So we'll do that. And 4 mana for Elspeth. With that, we'll add a loyalty counter, putting a first strike counter on Aurelia, burning our opponent for 1. And then we'll go to combat. We'll swing in with Aurelia, which will untap Delighted Halfling, and in the turn 2, we'll do that Carroted, putting counters all our creatures again, make that, burning all our opponents again. So yeah, and that's how the deck works, guys. Angel Burn. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck list. I'll see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.